The Queen is dead. Long live the Queen of Tone. What's going on, friends? I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and welcome to another episode of Stompbox Saturday. Today, something brand new and very exciting from our friends at NUX, or NUX if you prefer. Today, we are looking at the Queen of Tone, a dual overdrive. Every king needs his queen. I suppose a prince also needs a queen as well, but what does a duke need? Nomenclature and titles aside, the Queen of Tone is a fantastic addition to NUX's Verdugo series, which in my opinion is some of the highest quality stuff that is being made in a Chinese pedal company today. The name would suggest that this might be a clone of the Analogman King of Tone, and that would only be partially correct and actually not really correct at all. Instead of having two overdrives each based on the Bluesbreaker style circuit, it combines a Bluesbreaker style overdrive pedal with two different modes and a Klon Centaur style overdrive pedal with two different modes. Each side has the three controls you would expect to find on the pedals that inspire each portion of the Queen of Tone. On the right side is our Morning Star, aka Bluesbreaker style overdrive pedal with controls for level, tone, and drive. And then on the left is the Klon Centaur style overdrive with the controls for output, gain, and treble. Pretty cool, pretty simple. What more could you want? Well, I did say that there are two modes to each side. By pressing and holding down on each bypass foot switch, you lapse it into a different mode. On the Morning Star side, you get the Shine mode, which adds a little bit more high-end emphasis to the overdrive tone. And by pressing and holding on the Centaur side, or the Horseman side, you get a gold Klon voicing and a silver Klon voicing, which can basically be equated to maybe the silver being a little bit more aggressive in the upper mids and the gain structure. All in all, these two do a very good job of capturing the essence and vibe of those two classics. Now, if we just had the two overdrive pedals with each having two modes, that would provide us with a lot of versatility, but there are a few more things built into this that make it a very flexible addition to any guitar rig. First, the toggle switch between the two pedals. It's a routing toggle, basically allowing you to run either the Centaur Horseman side into the Morning Star Bluesbreaker side, or vice versa, running the Bluesbreaker Morning Star side into the Horseman Klon side. Input and output jacks for audio and power are on the top of the enclosure, so a lot of you are going to be very, very happy. However, there's also a jack for an external foot switch, but there are two more switches on the top of the enclosure that you may have noticed, labeled BFTB and IFS and Normal. The BFTB is a buffer true bypass switch. However, what I really think is cool is the IFS Normal. You can essentially think of this as a FET-based clean boost that increases the bypass volume of the pedal, allowing you to get a little bit more signal into the front end of the amplifier and boosting the output quite significantly on this pedal. And those are all the specs and features of the Queen of Tone dual overdrive. So let's go ahead and plug in this sparkly blue pedal and hear it in action. We already know what each of these pedals does as far as their classic inspirations are concerned. So since each of these has two modes, let's come up with a couple different settings and swap between the two voicings, Normal and Shine for the Bluesbreaker Morning Star side, and Gold and Silver for the Horseman and Centaur side. So those are the basic differences between the two voicings on each side of the Queen of Tone. But there's another further tone shaping aspect of the Queen of Tone, and that is that it has its own sort of built-in clean boost, if you will. If you're familiar with how Dumble amplifiers have a normal input and a FET-based input, it's essentially the same kind of principle. The normal input being essentially whatever your guitar is feeding to the input of the amplifier, and then the FET-based input is a sort of hotter input section, allowing you to drive the front end a little harder. And in much the same way, the Queen of Tone has the same kind of feature. In fact, it is FET-based. So all I want to do, with just the pedal bypassed, there is a switch on the top of the enclosure that I'm going to flick up and down, and we can hear the differences of. I'm just going to strum a few chords, and you can see how it just ups things up a little bit, but maybe that little extra push will mean a little bit more fun harmonically and tonally later on. You can hear it's a pretty significant increase, but it's not terribly distorted. It's just enough to give things a little bit of signal lift, driving the front end a little harder and making things, well, just a little bit more exciting to play. Next to that switch is the buffer true bypass switch. Now, we have been hearing it in true bypass mode already because, well, I have a buffer after the pedal. But I'm gonna take that buffer away from my Boss TU2 and we're gonna hear it going straight into the Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200. See if there's any noticeable audio difference between the true bypass and the buffered bypass signal. I'd say there actually is a difference, and although I tend to prefer true bypass for most of my playing scenarios, the buffered bypass with just this pedal running into the amplifier definitely brings back that sparkle that I'm missing and wish was still there, especially with these single coils. And now I want to show you a couple of my favorite overdrive combinations using the Queen of Tone. A couple different guitars, each going for some different vibes. Let's check it out. And there you have it, friends. That is our rundown of the Queen of Tone Dual Overdrive from NUX. This is a fantastic dual overdrive pedal, one of the more versatile ones that I've played in a very long time. Of course, there's tons of dual overdrives out there, and it's not like everything in here is particularly unique, but it is very well thought out and very well done. Plus, this sparkle blue enclosure and the off-white cream parchment knobs is really eye-catching. I like the fact that although it's called the Queen of Tone, it's not doing 100% a clone of the King of Tone or the Prince of Tone or the Duke of Tone. Couple that with all the other features on this pedal, this thing has a home in so many different guitar rigs. If you play classic rock, if you play blues, if you play worship, if you play even hard rock, there's something you're gonna find in here, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. But of course, all of this is just my opinion, and I want to hear from you. Which side of the Queen of Tone was your favorite, and what did you think of the new voicings as well? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate your support in helping this channel continue to grow and hopefully get to 10K subscribers before the end of the year. Just click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, or you can go above and beyond that and sign up for my email newsletter. Just head to SeanPierceJohnson.com/email-list, enter your name and your email address, and you're signed up. Every video I make, a link is sent direct to your email inbox. And I promise, especially because it's the holiday shopping season and you're already getting enough spam as it is, I'm not going to spam you. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And until we see each other again, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, wishing you all great tone, great health, and of course, happy stomping. Cheers, friends. See you in the future. God bless.